Imagine a world where the life-giving river simply vanishes. Not a trickle, not a drop. What immense power could make an entire river disappear, leaving behind only cracked earth and wilting hope? This isn't just a story, it's a profound Native American legend about the delicate balance between humanity and nature, and the desperate plea that brought the water back. Before the cities were built of stone and steel, there was a valley that felt like the very lungs of the earth. This land was nourished by the great river, a wide, shimmering ribbon of sapphire that pulsed with an ancient rhythm. To the people who lived there, the water wasn't just a resource. It was the lifeblood of a spirit that had watched over their ancestors since the first sunrise. Hakaleska was a young man of the valley. Guardianing, his days were spent walking the banks, learning to read the language of the water. He was taught that the river's song, the way it bubbled over smooth stones and whispered through the roots, was a constant conversation between the earth and its children. Every full moon, the tribe would gather for the new milk ceremony. They would pour a single vessel of milk into the current, watching it swirl into the blue like a white cloud. It was a symbol of their gratitude, a way of saying, "We take only what we need, and we thank you for the life you give." In those days, the harmony was perfect. The fish were plentiful, the forests were emerald, and the people wanted for nothing. But prosperity can be a dangerous thing. As the seasons remained kind and the granaries overflowed, a slow shift began to poison the heart of the community. Success led to forgetfulness. People began to take the river's bounty for granted. The moon milk ceremony, once a sacred hour of reflection, became a chore. Eventually, it was forgotten entirely. A new ambition took hold, the desire for status. One wealthy leader suggested building a water throne, a massive structure of carved rock that diverted a portion of the great river into a private, ornamental lake. It was a display of power, a way to show neighboring tribes that they owned the water. Hakaleska watched in horror as his people began to treat the river with disregard. They threw waste into the sacred pools and built dams that choked the natural flow. He warned the elders that the river's spirit was becoming heavy with sorrow, but they only laughed. "The river has flowed for 1,000 years," they said. "It will flow for 1,000 more. We are its masters now." The Great Spirit's answer came not with a roar of thunder, but with a terrifying, absolute silence. Hakaleska woke one morning to a stillness that felt heavy against his skin. There was no splashing of trout, no rhythmic gurgling of the current. When he raced to the bank, his heart stopped. The great Riverdale lifeline of generations had vanished. In its place was a barren wasteland, a red, jagged scar across the valley floor. The shock was immediate and perilous. The sun, once a friend to the crops, became a relentless enemy. It beat down upon the valley, baking the earth until it crumbled to dust. Within days, the emerald leaves turned to brittle skeletons, and the cries of thirsty children filled the dry air. The people gathered around their water fountain, which now sat mockingly over a bed of parched milk. The realization finally dawned. This was not a natural drown. It was a spiritual withdrawal, then gratitude finally driven by the embrace of the river spirit away. As hope began to wither like the corn, the tribe's oldest elder, Mother Awanita, called the people together. "The water has not died," she whispered. "It has only hidden its face. We cannot command it back. We can only plead for its return." Hakaleska led the community on a grueling pilgrimage toward the mountains to the eye of the earth, the sacred source where the river was born. It was a journey of profound suffering and even deeper reflection. They walked the length of the dry riverbed. The people saw the trash they had thrown and the dams they had built. They realized that their prosperity had made them blind to the very source of their life. When they reached the mountain peak, they did not offer gold or songs of pride. Instead, they engaged in powerful acts of humility and reconciliation. They knelt in the dust, their voices joined in a single, sincere plea for forgiveness. They vowed that if the water returned, they would destroy the water throne and live once again as stewards, not as masters. This shared responsibility and unity became the spark that initiated the healing process. The response was slow at first, a cool breath rising from the deep cracks in the soil. Then, a rhythmic pulse began to vibrate under Akaleswa's feet. A trickle of water, clear as a diamond, began to seep from the eye of the earth. The trickle became a stream, and the stream became a rushing torrent that surged back down the valley. It was a miraculous return, a testament to the renewed reverence and balance they had found in their darkest hour. As the water touched the parched soil, the valley seemed to exhale. The leaves turned green in an instant, and the wildflowers bloomed in a sudden, magical celebration of life. The people did not cheer with song. They stood in silence, weeping with gratitude. They tore down the stone diversions, and the water flowed, returning the stones to the riverbed where they belong. This ancient wisdom remains a timeless reminder for us today. The interconnectedness of all life is fragile, and respect for our natural resources is the only way to ensure our world never runs dry again.